Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thursday night show. My name is Alexander Medeiros. I have my co-host with me today, Jeremiah Campana, and we are going to talk about a few different things today. We're going to start with Jake Lang and what happened in Minneapolis. We're going to go over to some church protests. Today, apparently, ICE arrested a 5-year-old. We have subpoenas going to Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, and Jacob Frey. We have to talk about what Trump said over at Davos, at the World Economic Forum, and the Greenland deal. Jeremiah, how you doing tonight, brother?
Dude, I am exhausted, ready though for this massive snowstorm. We probably could have added that to the list too. We got a
Yeah.
once in a decade snowstorm about to hit half the country. I spent, dude, I have at one of my properties a basement that is half basement, half crawl space, and it is a dungeon. And I was like, I ran to Menards to get stuff to insulate the pipes so they don't freeze because I
Yeah.
have to trust my tenant to leave the faucets drip. It's been crazy, dude. But other than that, man, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Do you guys get a lot of snow in Ohio?
Oh man, it's Ohio is like a wild card. The weather here changes on a dime, but typically the winters, like last winter was pretty mild. We got, I think, one or two snows. This year it's already snowed a bunch, and we're about to get Southern Ohio's about to get over a foot. I'm about to get 8 to 10 inches, and Northern Ohio's about to get 6 inches. And you're going to get hit too, I think.
Yeah, we're getting hit. But we have snow all the time, so we don't really care. It's not a big deal for us.
What's
Um,
like a normal amount of snow for your neck of the woods?
I don't know. We just had it snow. And it was about 6 inches. Um, we
So like a
our
foot, you guys are
roads.
like, whatever, a foot's nothing.
Yeah, we get it done pretty quick. It's not like when I lived in North Carolina, it would literally be inches on the ground and people would just leave their cars in the middle of the road and walk home. And I'm like, yeah, I can't relate to that at all.
No, man. Yeah, the South don't know. And what's crazy is the South is about to get an ice storm. So you're going to see
Oof.
power outages from Tennessee to South Carolina and North Carolina, Georgia. Dude, the South is about to freak out, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I remember when Texas got hit pretty hard not too long ago, a lot of trouble. So we'll be praying for those guys.
For sure, for sure. Get your prayers
All right, so
now.
first we have a ton on the agenda today, so we'll try to get through it quicker. But I have a video queued up here. Now you know who Jake Lang is, right?
I do know who Jake Lang is. I have quite a few opinions on that man as well. So this will be interesting.
Shout out K Drizzle 2020 in the chat. How you doing tonight? Shout out everybody watching. If you're here, hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, we don't have to get into the opinions yet because I'm sure, regardless of your opinion on Jake Lang, you are probably not too happy at what happened here. Let's take a look at what day was this posted. Let's see. Jake Lang posted this on his personal account January 17th, about 5 days ago, around noon. And he said, today at 1 p.m., I will burn a Quran on the steps of Minneapolis City Hall. America is a Christian country, and we will not allow Somali daycare pirates to overtake
Minneapolis City Hall will be burning Qurans, standing up against the Somali invasion of Minneapolis, the immediate deportation of Ilhan Omar, and the arrest of the scammer Tim Walz. Come join us 1 p.m. here, Minneapolis City.
All right, so we see this pop up on Twitter.
So he sets himself up.
And we don't, we see this from Jake Lang before. He likes to slap the Quran with bacon and burn the Quran. So this isn't something new. So people see this and like, yeah, whatever. But some other people saw this and decided to go meet Jake Lang at the Minneapolis City Hall. But they weren't fans of Jake Lang. So let's see. I got another video I'm going to queue up here. This doesn't show everything, and I got to be careful about exactly what I show on YouTube for TOS reasons.
Sure.
But this, I mean, the chick right here with the orange here, I think is his girlfriend or wife, which is terrible. I mean, my anxiety would be through the roof if I was with
man.
my wife in a situation like this. Right? Like crazy.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know that. This is new information for me.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know even if it's a girlfriend or just a really close friend or whatever, because they were like really close throughout this whole encounter. But he gets pepper sprayed, water balloons are thrown at him, people pour water on him, they pelt him with random objects, and you don't see it all here, but let's play. It's just 46 seconds. There's a lot of silly string. See, the girl's getting like pulled right now, right? They're trying to get them out of there. They don't want them there, which is obviously assault and battery. And they're all masked up. But see, all right, so she starts spraying pepper spray. And I mean, how much is it going to do? Random people are fighting. I mean, it is a chaotic scene here at the Minneapolis City Hall.
Oh, yeah,
and you can see this black guy here. Mm-hmm. There's a black guy here and a Muslim guy who are sitting with Jake. They did not come with Jake. They don't seem to know him. I have some information about them for later on. But they did ultimately, even though they removed him when he didn't want to go, ultimately, I think they either saved his life or saved him from much more damage. So when you first saw these things, what was your reaction?
My first reaction upon glancing at this news story, because I'm not a fan of Jake Lang in any shape or form. I don't think he represents Christ at all. So my first thoughts was, okay, what geriatric stunts was he trying to pull? And then my second thought is like, you didn't do your research. Okay. Antifa in Minneapolis is for real. And the law is not on your side there. So like, what was he thinking in the first place? Going there with no security, you know what I mean? Like this doesn't make like this. The whole setup doesn't make any sense. Like
I don't even think he had someone filming.
Like this isn't Dearborn,
it was
Michigan.
Just him and that girl.
He protested in Texas against the Muslims as well. Like these aren't friendlies, dude. Like.
Yeah, do you think he expected to get assaulted by a mob, though?
I think he should have expected to get assaulted.
Gotcha.
You could like just watch videos from Nick Sorter. He's been there for a couple months now, and Nick Sorter can't film videos as himself. Like he has to dress up in disguise to get his videos. Like there's clear cut like ways to do this if you're a conservative journalist. Just going balls to the wall just is not it. So just complete lack of preparation on his part, which again doesn't make any sense. You can look at all these conservative journalists who are there and see for yourself that like precautions need to be taken.
Right. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I honestly, I didn't even see the first video of him going to Minneapolis. I just saw this video, so I was kind of caught off guard. But here's what happens. This black guy here who, like I said, even though he dragged him away when clearly he doesn't want to leave, he ends up kind of getting him to a safer position. So let's see here what he does. He just kind of grabs him off the wall. He's like, you have to go. You have to leave.
Yeah, I mean, like, staying there is a bad idea. Again, because the police are not going to come and help you.
Right. Yeah, the police are definitely not going to help you.
He was probably moments away looking at this video from being the first conservative death in Minneapolis.
You think that would have changed things politically?
I think it would have added gasoline onto what's already happening there. Absolutely. I think maybe you see Trump invoke the Insurrection Act by now. Should that have happened?
If he died there, you're
right. You saw that crowd, like just the fact that guy was able to get him out of there.
Right. These are some pictures that the left has been kind of using to embarrass Jake, which is interesting because it's like, Jake Lang crying like a little B word here. They're trying to almost justify the response. And they're saying similar things to what you're saying. But I know you're saying, just because he's agitating a mob, he should expect the violence just out of common sense, but not that he would deserve it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere else that he would have done that, it probably would have showed up just to protest like they normally do, right? Because he's always got counter protesters. But yeah, nah, man, what's going on in Minneapolis is a whole other level, man. You're in the home of the George Floyd riots where they started.
Yeah.
Like
It is a
Antifa
different
runs
spot.
that town.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you want to get to it a little bit later, we do have video of Tim Waltz from his gated home trying
I did see that.
yeah, like
Don't make good trouble.
Trying to encourage more protests and riots while he's in his nice little safe,
literally gated home,
literally gated mansion. Yeah. Hey, you guys out there, you keep doing the violence. I'll be right here.
I'll watch TV. I'll throw a live stream on and watch it, guys. It's like my grandmother watching my debates. So here's another picture. They say Jake Lang doing his Melania Trump pose. So a lot of mocking and just, again, it seems like they're saying, well, Jake Lang deserves it, right? F around and find out has kind of been the slogan of 2026. And so the right has used it against people like Renee Good. But then we see here the left using it, this kind of rhetoric against the right, or Jake Lang at least. So I don't know, like, the difference in the Renee Good situation is Renee Good was disobeying a lawful order by a federal agent.
Correct.
Here, Jake Lang is being ripped apart by an unlawful illegal mob. The second a protest turns violent, it is no longer a protest. It is an illegal gathering. I think they have to be pronounced as an illegal gathering, but the second violence happens, the cops should make it an illegal gathering.
Nope, they've been told to stand down. That's the thing. Like, Nick Sorter was just on Tucker Carlson last night, yesterday, and he's himself, like, he's like, I call 911 constantly and nobody ever shows up.
Man, that's crazy. You can't even trust your own cops, the people who are sworn in to protect you.
Right.
This is the guy who literally picked him up in the last video.
Yeah, my job, my purpose on earth, and my spirit told me I'm the son of God, right? A lot of people gonna think I'm lying.
Little bit of Black Hebrew Israelite vibes. A little bit.
It shows you again that I don't have to lie, but I move off love and unity, and that's how Jesus walked. If y'all Christians, that's how Yahweh walked. If y'all Africans and y'all roots, Yahweh walked just showing love regardless of what somebody did to you.
So I agree with the overall message, but like I said, there's a little bit of BHI language in there.
A little bit.
If you African and rich. Okay.
For sure. But hey, Jake Lang is lucky for that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a second man too. Cam Higbee actually shouted out this Muslim guy before doing something nice for him and not outing him when he was at a protest. And this has ended up being the same guy that also helped him. And he kind of has a similar message.
You don't understand. Muslim people, we love this nation. We absolutely love this nation. All right, we might be against the foreign policies that the United States conducts, right? But just like I love my mother and father, if they were to go to war with their neighbors, I would not support that. Doesn't mean that I don't love them fundamentally, intrinsically, all of that. I do not want that to happen.
Do you support what Jake would say?
No, absolutely not. I'm completely against what he's saying.
So why were you?
I'm a Muslim. I don't.
Why are
because
you
we have to
him?
protect each other. We shouldn't get to this point, guys. I gotta go and help him out. I have to. This guy.
Wow. Hey, Muslim or not, props to this guy. He didn't even care to do this interview. He said, I'm a Muslim. We have to help people out. We shouldn't get to this point. And he said, I got to go help him. Because this is when they were still dragging him away. As they're dragging him away, I'm not showing this stuff because we're on YouTube, but they were literally punching him, kicking him, hitting him with flagpoles. I have a picture on here, but I'm not going to bring it up. He hopped in a car at one point and they pulled the car over, figured out he was in there, opened the door, started kicking him again. And he ended up at the
Jeez.
hospital with like a probably 4-inch gash in the back of his head. It was pretty serious. Yeah, I mean, this now I'm pretty sure the same day there was this church protest in St. Paul. Is that correct? Was it the same day, like hours after the Jake Lang incident, or was it the
Don't know
next
if it
day?
was on the same day. That's a good question.
If it wasn't, it was literally the next day. Now,
Yeah, this all happened like very close proximity to each other. Yeah.
language warning. I know we all know. So, Jeremiah, we are going to try to keep the show as clean as possible. It's tough with the videos to be able to edit all these swears out.
For sure. Just
yeah,
earmuffs if you got the kids watching.
right. Now, there is an interesting thing of like, if you swear at like if the F word is literally every other word you use, that has to be some sort of sign of manic behavior, in my opinion. Like, I understand swearing, but when it's literally every other word,
Dude, yeah. Like,
yeah. And like it's not just this video, it's every video this guy puts out. But let's see, we're gonna watch a couple like 30 seconds of this here. This is when I forget his last name, but his name is William, entered a church and started protesting. This guy is like textbook definition in a manic episode, I swear.
Renee good! Renee good! Renee good! Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do? Absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit as a preacher.
This is my favorite part.
Did Jesus
wear a suit? Did he?
if those were invented then, maybe he would have.
Oh man, yeah. So he crashes this church, and now people are torn, and they say, well, the left says this is how you protest, right? You storm a church with tons of people and you shout during the service. People on the right and others are saying, no, a church is a private property. You don't have the right to enter it and disrupt their service. What was your first thoughts when you saw this going down, Jeremiah?
Oh, enraged. This was probably the most angry I've got. I actually did a video on this. You could go to my YouTube channel and check it out. It was tough for me to even react to this video and keep cool. But
yeah,
I did present some hopeful scriptures at the end. But see, first of all, that dude looks like he hasn't brushed his teeth or showered in months. I guarantee you he was over there like, Jesus wouldn't be here. He'd be doing X, Y, Z. I guarantee you he's never picked up the Bible and read it in his entire life. Non-Christians telling Christians how they should be acting, what they should be doing. Second of all, just like add Don Lemon to this mix, like covering the kids, escaping through the back. And that
we'll
kid
get there.
In that video, he's like crying, like, traumatizing kids is like really, really ticks me off when that happens. And I don't know, and I'm not throwing any judgment onto the fathers that were there. Hindsight is 2020. It's easy for me to watch that video and say, you should have did this, you should have did that. But that is you are when you come onto private property like that. Now maybe they didn't know this, maybe they did, and they decided, that's not the way to go. But if you have security at your church, I don't know if they did. My church has security, and my church is like 50 people tops, right? So we're strapped. If you ask them to leave and they don't, security can remove them physically. you know, if if my kid's next to me crying, I'm like, here, mom, you take Carmela
then-
out of here. And
yeah, and then this
I'm
guy
like,
comes up to your wife right in front of you and starts berating her.
I might have put hands on him. I might have put hands on him. So props to those folks for being way calmer than maybe I would have been. Because yeah, dude, I just watching it, my blood was boiling. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. But it's tough too when you're with your family, right? Because you have a wife, you have children, and then you go, how do I handle the threat without leaving my family open to attack? That's a
Right.
very hard decision to make. It's not like, oh, we're we can just, I don't know, like you can't really plan for this stuff, and they didn't know if it was going to get violent. They just kind of saw a protest coming in. Maybe they realized right away. The pastor, you can see, was totally caught off guard. It's got to be a tough position to be in.
Yeah, the pastor, even when you see Don Lemon interviewing the pastor, he's like, I have to go take care of my flock and my family. And Don Lemon continues to ask him questions, and he sticks around to answer a few more. And I'm like, you know, in my video breakdown, I was like, this pastor is under no obligation. Yeah, this clip right here. Go ahead and play it real quick.
All right.
It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Don Lemon's so stupid.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
We're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here to worship. Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship.
Nah,
That's my
too
favorite
nice.
line. Did you see his face when he said that? I'm a Christian.
Yeah,
Like, I doubt it. Like I highly
no one
doubt
believes
it.
you,
know?
Don.
No one believes you. No one believes you're a Christian. But that pastor was under no obligation to continue that interview. The first time he said, I got to go take care of my family and my flock,
Yeah.
he should have just left. But that's probably
And no,
why.
I don't care, Don, if you're here to worship anymore. You're done.
Right.
Don't care.
I don't care, Don. Get out of my church.
Yeah.
Get the blank out of my church. Yeah, dude, that was I will probably credit the calmness of the rest of the people there with his calmness.
Yeah, he was leading from the front.
Yeah, so he could have easily like freaked out. And you could tell he was caught off guard, but he wasn't like flipping out and like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? He wasn't getting all crazy. So that definitely probably helped other people not get crazy. But but then he goes like to the back of the church where the kids are getting snuck out the back to get to escape. And he's like, well, you know, sometimes people got to be, I'm paraphrasing. Sometimes, you know, people got to be traumatized. Yeah. Play this.
Watch this guy here. Look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful. It's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the
Only
people.
he would have ate snow right there.
Careful, please. Really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so, watch this guy here. Look.
So the point of the protest was to traumatize children. Got it.
Right. Yeah. Like if you're on the side that if that's your goal, like you are on the wrong side. That's plain and simple. Like if the point of your of your goal is to be traumatizing to children, you are on the wrong side of the issue.
Absolutely.
Let me speak of, you know what's funny about Don? I want you to add this to your repertoire. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat for you because I think this
while we do. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say this is going to sum up Don Lemon better than I think most videos can.
Cool. Right before I play that, I don't want to forget. Do you know Can you talk about the face in the KKK Act after this?
Yes, in fact, that's what. Yeah, we're still waiting on Don Lemon to be in handcuffs, right? Because we do have a couple
Yeah.
people who did get charged. I'm going to pull up the FACE Act right now because there's a key.
Well, I'll play this while you do that.
Is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a
Okay.
misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back
Hey,
and
get
saying
schooled
that they're
there.
breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually,
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals. And now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going.
Misdemeanor is not a crime.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not
It's
a
not a
crime?
criminal act. No, if you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a
So
criminal
why
act.
can't charge at all then? If it's not a criminal act,
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
so it is crime.
No,
It's just
we
different.
have different levels of. No, I shouldn't say crime. But it's not. You're not. It's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
So it's breaking the law.
It's
No,
breaking the law, but it's
you're
just
not breaking the
different
law.
level of
The misdemeanor is not
crime.
breaking the law.
No.
If you're speeding, drinking.
This dude is so low IQ,
That's
Alex.
not a
It's
criminal act.
unbelievable.
No, if you're-
Get the microphone away from Don Lemon.
He knows he's caught and he's trying his hardest to wiggle
He's
his way out of this contradiction he just found himself in.
So hard.
Well, you're breaking the law, but it's not a crime. Now, how do I square this circle?
Yes. Logic exists, but God doesn't is pretty much on the same level as that. So the face,
Right.
so the fact that he's not in handcuffs
What
right
is
now.
the FACE Act?
Yeah, the FACE Act. So this is most people probably know. Well, if you were paying attention during Joe Biden years, many Christians were thrown in prison. It's the freedom of access to clinic entrances. And you hear that and you're like, what the heck does this have to do with Christians and religious institutions? Well, this was passed in the 90s. And it was used to arrest Christians protesting at abortion clinics during the Joe Biden years.
And how were they
Trump was,
protesting? The people who were arrested?
praying, singing hymns,
Yeah. Outside.
Some of them did go inside and sit down
Okay.
and do that stuff. But nobody got violent. Nobody attacked anybody or threw things. So there were some Christians who did like go into the building and then they would sit down and sing hymns, but whatever. So, luckily Trump pardoned all our brothers and sisters. So they're free from that nonsense. But here's where religion. So when they made this law, I'm not sure what was going through their heads, that they felt like they needed to balance it out. But thank goodness that they did, because it's like a layer on top of your First Amendment right to worship as you see fit. So whoever, and I'm gonna paraphrase. I'm gonna skip the part about the clinics. Because it's kind of a long read, but part of it says, whoever by force or threat of force or by physical obstruction intentionally injures, intimidates, or interferes with, or attempts to injure, intimidate, or interfere with any person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship, or damages property, etc., shall be subject to penalties provided in subsection B, yada, yada, yada. So they added that to, they're like, okay, you can't do this at clinics and you can't do this at religious places of worship. And if you watch that video, Alex, I don't know, looks pretty, looks like they were trying to intimidate people to me.
Yeah. And they were stopping them from exercising their right to worship, right? Their right to practice their religion. I think it's plain and easy to see. And that's why we saw some arrests. Here's a little bit of comedic relief, I would say, with this video. It's our boy, our homeless friend here.
Yesterday, I went into a church with Nakima Armstrong and I protested these white supremacists. The pastor of the church is a fucking
Pause it real quick.
here in the city.
Yeah.
Notice how he led right off, just labeling them white supremacists. Like that is their thing. Just to paint us in that picture. He doesn't know anybody in that church, but they're all white supremacists.
Yeah. Why do you think, Steelman, his position, why would you think he's a white supremacist? He says that they're white supremacists.
So there's a couple theories I have. He's calling them white supremacists to either A, make it again, like we talked about on the show before, make it okay to commit violence against Christians and conservatives, or B, he really believes that,
Yeah.
because his IQ is so low that he just believes what he's told and does not
Yeah,
want
and there's
to question, investigate, nothing. He's just taking it at face value. Someone told him evangelicals are Nazis and white supremacists. They're Nazis and white supremacists. There you have it.
and there's enough people willing to have his back and yell and scream with him. So it doesn't really matter what the logic is behind it because there's enough people that agree with me, so I feel justified in my position, right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps.
So, you know, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges? So be it.
Yesterday.
So be it.
He is a comfortable white person, like living a comfortable life. Like, what the heck is he even talking about?
Yeah. Well, just because I ran up all of my credit cards. I don't know.
He looks like those old school from back in the day, the hobos with the stick and the knapsack tied to the end of it. Like that's what he looks like.
But Pam Bondi was the person who posted this video, and she said, "Okay." Oh, and this is the result.
I can't wait. I hope they get 3 years in jail, just like our brothers and sisters did for protesting at abortion clinics.
Yeah, I believe this is Nakima Armstrong. This is Sean Till.
She looks
that's
smart.
An interesting name. And this is the guy we just saw. William.
And bro, she was rocking Polo Ralph Lauren. Like, isn't he a white supremacist?
I don't know any of the history there, but that's probably a good
Ralph
point.
Ralph Lauren is about as white as you can possibly get, man.
Is
like,
white.
Polo shirts.
The whole brand is the sport polo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a white dude on a horse is their logo. It doesn't make any sense. These people don't make any sense.
The only person who has not been charged is Don Lemon. Now, I have some interesting information about the judge that Tim Pool literally posted 30 seconds before we went live.
Oh, okay.
But it's interesting because I guess I can see the argument that he's just press, right? He was just filming. But the second that he started interviewing the pastor, that seems a little bit different. Now you're not just a casual bystander filming. Now you are actively engaging in the protest. And what I also heard was that before the protest started, these organizers hit up Don and said, "Can we use your likeness and your image to promote this so we can get enough people here to be effective in their protest?" So with all of those things, the way a warrant works is you have to go to the proper authorities to request a warrant, and the judge has to grant it to you. The judge in this case did grant it for the others, but not for Don Lemon. Now, what Tim Pool had posted earlier is a connection that he made or his team made. All right, so Tim he just reposted this. That's where I saw it. I thought it was him posting, but he just reposted it. He reposted and said, "Is this civil war yet?" It says, as reported earlier by 5 NYC, trying to make this bigger.
Yeah, there we go.
By 5 NYC, the magistrate judge who blocked the Don Lemon arrest warrant is reported to be Douglas Micco. In October 2025, Micco released Tyler Maxon Avalos, the man who had placed a $45,000 murder for hire bounty on Pam Bondi. On October 23rd, 2025, Micco ordered Avalos's release from custody. Does he look familiar from me? He made a video, I'm pretty sure, putting the hit out. You remember
I
this?
don't remember this guy. No.
I remember the face.
But
But
that's
he was on camera, like caught on camera doing this.
and they still let him go.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's what's insane. Well, it's insane and insanely diabolical, Alex, because this is what the left has been doing for a while in preparation for pushback, right? So, nobody really anticipated Trump, especially a second time coming into power. But if you have loaded the judicial system with activist judges, then whoever comes in and tries to take you down is going to have a really hard time because you've put in the infrastructure to throw obstacles in their way every step that they try to make. And that's exactly what they did. It's wild. It's wild, man. They were ready for this. They were ready for the fight back that the conservatives were going to give them. And by putting all these judges in place, and now you like you see it. Like, I'm not signing an arrest warrant for Don Lemon. I'm releasing killers on the street. I'm gonna. It's crazy.
It is absolutely nuts. Speaking of arrests, we do have some interesting subpoenas coming out of the DOJ. Let's watch this.
Deeper into the massive Minnesota
You got it on screen?
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill have launched an investigation into Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar after her net worth spiked by nearly $30 million in just a year. The House Oversight Committee is looking into financial disclosures tied to investments in companies owned by Omar's husband.
Deport.
That Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million. She never had a job. She's a crooked congressman.
Well, two businesses in question are Rose Lake Capital, a venture capital firm that her husband co-founded, as well as a California winery. In 2023, the venture capital firm was valued at $1,000. A year later, in 2024, the valuation jumped to $25 million. Also in 2023, the California winery was valued at $50,000. By 2024, the valuation increased.
Talk about a come up. I don't know any entrepreneur that makes that kind of jump in 1 year. None.
1,000 to 25 million, unless the 1,000 was literally just them opening the company and putting $1,000 in the bank account to open the company.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. But even then, what does a congresswoman make? About 150, 170 a year, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So a good salary. I mean, I think most people would enjoy making that kind of money. Let's say her husband makes similar money. That still doesn't get you to 25 million, even with really good investments. You need like insanely good investments to reach that area.
Maybe Nancy Pelosi type good investments.
What are you implying?
Nothing at all, other than you should follow Nancy Pelosi Watch and buy all the same stocks that she buys.
This is about Jacob Frey and Tim
A bit
Waltz.
of breaking news as we were covering this news conference and the president was speaking. It sounds like subpoenas from what we have reporting here at NBC News, subpoenas have been served at the offices of the governor of Minnesota as well as the mayor of Minneapolis. What more do we know about that?
That's right, Tom. A slew of subpoenas now coming from the Department of Justice to officials in Minnesota, state and local as well. From the Minnesota Attorney General to the office of the governor there, the Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Frey, who has been very public, very front and center in this. We can pull it up on screen. You can see the list of subpoenas there, according to a document reviewed by NBC News and a person familiar with the investigation. The subpoenas, according to the DOJ, are that related to this idea that Minnesota public officials, according to the Trump administration, conspired to impede law enforcement during immigration operations there. We already have a response now from the office of the Minneapolis mayor, from Mayor Frey, who's suggesting that the federal government is weaponizing its power to try to intimidate local leaders for doing their jobs, going on to say that
intimidating people for just doing their jobs. That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Not at all. Not at all. These idiots, man, I just saw a video the other day, like these ICE agents, dude, they can't even go to Speedway and get a snack without being surrounded in the parking lot and like and trapped in the parking lot. Like it's like these two guys have. I mean, if this isn't the definition of why you need to invoke the Insurrection Act, I don't know what is. You have leaders of a city defying federal law, encouraging violence, and telling the police to stand down. Like, what more needs to happen? In fact, if you go to my channel, first of all, if you're watching right now, kindly hit that thumbs up, share the show, subscribe to our channels, folks. Show us some love. Give us hit that thumbs up below you. But I did an interview with Tim Barton. Tim Barton is a historian for wall builders. His dad is like a genius historian, David Barton, and the Insurrection Act over the course of U.S. history has been invoked 30 times, Alex. Like, like it's been used. Like this is not like Trump isn't doing something crazy by invoking it. Like it's time.
No, it definitely is time. And he's getting a lot of flack for it, right? There's a lot of people speaking out from Trump's side saying, what are you doing? We need some more action. I do appreciate what he has done with these subpoenas and with the arrest of the protesters. But there's like a common theme of protecting certain people in politics. And I mean, that's what politicians do, right? Right and left. They protect politicians because I think they're afraid that raising the temperature too quickly will backfire on them in the next term of, whoever's going to win the presidency.
And that's the difference between Democrats and Republicans, because Democrats don't care. The Democrats get into power and they immediately start making changes. In Virginia, the Democrats got into power. The first thing they did was legalize abortion up until birth. The second thing they're about to do is change the congressional maps to make the entire state Democrat. So there will be no Republicans. They get sent to the House of Representatives. The first thing they did when Joe Biden took office was they tried to have Trump arrested. They arrested his lawyers. They arrested, they take action. Like that's the main difference. Like they don't care about turning up the temperature. So why does Trump? Because we have his back. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's like doing this without his base.
Right.
If his
this
base
is why
was
we
against
voted
him,
for him.
I get it. This is what we voted for. We voted for accountability. We want to see politicians in handcuffs because if they take power again, they will, dude. If they take power again, Alex, I fear for us, like on this podcast, like honestly.
No, I mean it is crazy because I look at all the things I post and I'm like, so not too long ago in Australia, they passed a law similar to the UK where they can just run up in your house and take you for your social media posts and they can backdate it 5 years. So, I mean, I think we're all screwed if that ever came to the US.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's going to be bad news.
Yeah. All right. So another breaking story today, apparently ICE arrested and detained a 5-year-old and used him as bait to get his parents. And it was brought up to J.D. Vance at a press conference. Let's see what he has to say about it.
A local school district here is alleging ICE agents detaining a 5-year-old after preschool on Tuesday. We've also seen multiple American citizens detained by ICE in the last 6 weeks. Are you proud of how your administration is conducting this immigration crackdown here in Minnesota?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact that we're enforcing the country's laws. But, you asked a question about this 5-year-old kid. I actually saw this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic messaging event. And I see this story, and I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy. And I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I did a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien. And then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? If the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement. That doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense.
No,
he's right.
No one
Elect
thinks.
him now.
Oh no,
So
what did I
Advance
do?
2028. I'm here for it.
He's definitely winning some points with that in regard here.
He's one thing he has over DeSantis, because I like DeSantis a lot because he actually has a track record, right? So DeSantis got points on his resume. But Vance, man, he's got that microphone down.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so we've got about 15 minutes left. What I want to do is we have Davos or we have the Greenland deal. We can try to get through them both.
Yeah, let's definitely hit Davos. Real quick in the chat, I dropped that video of Tim Walz encouraging violence from the privacy of his own home. If you want to play that quick, you don't have to play all 2 minutes. Just play about a minute of it, so everyone can see how like the lack of self-awareness is just mind-boggling.
I'm pulling it up now.
He just looks so
friends that come to see God. Thank you for coming out in the cold, but more importantly, thank you for standing up for me.
Why does he look scared?
Standing up for our neighbors who don't have a fence and don't have people to take them around and don't have lawyers to defend them. And for every single person who... Oh, there's a book. Oh, here we go. So nice to see. These are the moments around.
Where's the good trouble part?
People identifying, and there's a lot of people saying, "Okay, I was sleeping on Minnesota," and I think what
Minnesota
Congress, ironically enough, is Coach. Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and cause problems. We're going to cause good trouble.
Good trouble.
Yeah, good trouble.
Now you people go out and cause good trouble. I got the hot tub loading up. I'm gonna go take a bath with some wine.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
But you people, you go cause the control.
Yeah, go do some more of that.
How does his supporters sit there and watch that and be encouraged? But like that was the least motivating. I don't know. I'm losing faith, Alex. Don't let me become black pilled, Alex. Don't let me.
It's hard, you know. Again, I don't think logic has anything to do with it. There's enough people who affirm my feelings, and therefore that's all that matters. As long as I have enough people willing to yell with me, I will yell. I think that's all that matters. Because you see the interviews. You have Don Lemon, who is how many years has he been doing what he does? He worked for CNN, right, for a long time.
Too long.
And this guy pulls up on a random Hispanic lady and gets completely schooled. You think any of these people in those protests are going to be doing better than Don Lemon in those situations?
No.
No.
Maybe even worse. Maybe even worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the leaders of the movement are acting that way, I mean, it does not matter. The logic is not there. And it's like, I love debate, but at some point, debate doesn't work. And what do you do at that point? I don't want to hear the answer to that question.
No, yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't. None of the options were good. And surprisingly, Alex, this might be the first show that we got no haters in the chat.
Yeah, there's not very many people in the chat at all tonight, actually. Say hi, guys. I mean, K Drizzle said hi. What's up, K Drizzle? Richie's always watching. Richie said everybody's watching Jim Bob's debate right now. He's debating evolution on modern day debate, so that makes sense. All right, so this first video of Trump at Davos. There's so much happened at Davos. I couldn't sit down and write every point down, but I got some good ones. Trump is a boss, bro. Straight up.
Because she was so aggressive. And I realized in that conversation that the United States is keeping the whole world afloat. Many places, I could give you 6, 7 places just in the people in this little area. I know every one of them. They're They're looking down. They don't want to see me. They don't want to stare me in the eyes. But they're taking advantage of, everybody took advantage of the United States. But I've been very fair, and I gave them a tariff, and it was fine. But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us, it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We want to work with them. We're not looking to destroy them. With that, I don't know.
They know I'm right. They don't want to look me in the eyes. I mean, just that's how he starts off. That was awesome.
Yeah, they know I'm right. Yeah, he and then he took a shot at the Prime Minister of Canada, which was
Yep.
fantastic.
I've got that one there. Here, I'll
Mark
pull that
Carney,
one up
Mike
next.
Carney.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Davos, like kind of got lost. I didn't even know that was happening. Like with everything that was going on, it's like, oh, the World Economic Forum's on. Like,
and what's awesome is I don't have this video pulled up, but the World Economic Forum. Whenever I hear that, I always think about the article that they put out. Remember the super viral article where they said everybody's going to be a renter, you're not going to own things, and you're going to like it. Remember that article?
Yep.
Well, Trump at one point literally looks at everybody in the event that he's speaking at that put this paper out and said, America will never be a nation of renters. Now, I hope those words are true.
Right.
But I like how he's like, yeah, that paper's BS, by the way.
It's like, let's lower these utility bills and get some mortgage rates that are good. And yeah, I'm with you.
Going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. They should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark.
Remember that.
Make your statements.
The best is like translating Trump into like mob slang. Or like how would a mobster have said that, right?
Right.
Not too differently.
Canada
now
lives because we allow it to happen.
Next time you open your fat mouth, why don't you think about the words that are gonna come out?
Love it.
We have I think this is oh go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, he's kind of right. I mean, Canada does get freebies from us, and I don't know how much longer Canada would be around if we weren't around.
Right.
That's
I
just
mean,
facts.
Military wise, like we protect them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Yeah. Now sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say their military is a joke.
Yeah. Now the mobsters that run the maple syrup business in Canada, that's a different story. All right, so this is sometimes Trump gets himself in trouble by speaking like over exaggerating certain things. But the spirit of the message here, I do believe. So let's hear what he has to say.
It could be more than $19 billion. Can you believe that? That's just one state. If we were able to cut out 50% of the fraud, 50%, and we should be able to do better than that, we would have a balanced budget without having to talk about even growth. So we have a lot of options, but we're working very hard on that. That's a big deal. It's not just the protests, the fake protests done by agitators and,
You think if we cut out 50% of the fraud in America, we'd have a balanced budget?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It would be more balanced.
Yes,
but
it would be very helpful.
We got ourselves just the fact that we, and I forget what they call the type of spending, the Medicaid, Medicare, the welfare stuff, like the stuff that the money, our Social Security, like that's the stuff that the money can't be taken away. Really,
yeah.
Even if you eliminated the fraud so that the welfare was spent on only those people who needed it, The bulk of the spending are those things that like we have to spend the money on because it's written into law.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like again, yeah. I mean, it would be better. I'm not saying that like we don't eliminate fraud just because we're not going to balance the budget. If we do,
Yeah.
you still eliminate the fraud because the people who really need the help will get actual good help. Our Social Security will be more likely to, when I retire and when you retire, we're, instead of Social Security going bankrupt, we're more likely to actually get our money back. We've been paying into it because as it's looking right now, we might not.
Yeah.
So there are some positives, but yeah, you know, sometimes, like you said, Trump, you know, shoots off shoots from the hip, I like to say, and doesn't really think about what he's saying too much. But it doesn't matter, you know, because he's confident in what he says, and he's close enough to making the point he's making stands.
Yeah. I hear. Now, here's the thing about him over exaggerating and not seeing what he's not making mistakes. We all make mistakes, but there was an interesting mistake that he made. Of course, the left media just jumped on it, and that's all they've been reporting, but I figured we'd play it here. What do you think about
Doing
this?
it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being.
Oh man.
I mean, it's funny.
It's just great.
They called me daddy. I'm very smart man. Very smart man called me daddy.
They love me. They love me. Up until this Iceland business, they loved me. They all loved me. They called me daddy.
And so, like, I think that the movement is hurt more when you double down on things that won't matter if you concede. Like, so
Such as?
the left, he called it Iceland instead of Greenland, right?
All right.
So, like, why not just say, okay, he made a mistake? Like, I don't think there's any aura, as the kids would say, lost by saying
Sure.
the left is going as far as to say he's mixing it up because he is in a mental decline and he's basically not fit for president. Obviously, that's a ridiculous jump. But we know Caroline Levitt, and she actually
Maybe he is going after Iceland. Too.
So this girl, Libby Dean, said during his WEF remarks, President Trump appeared to mix up Greenland and Iceland around 3 times. I just played one of them. The press secretary said, no, he didn't, Libby. His written remarks referred to Greenland as a piece of ice because that's what it is.
You see how she got around that? His written remarks.
You're the only one mixing anything up here. And then there was a community note. The press secretary is not telling the truth. Trump referred to Greenland as Iceland multiple times, not only as a piece of ice, because he did say that as well. It is not relevant what written remarks say. Miss Dean did not claim to be talking exclusively about written remarks. But I say, like, who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. Why bother doubling down on it?
Yeah, well, he made a mistake in his speech, but I do think that Trump would be mad if Caroline Levitt said that publicly.
Probably. I don't, you know, and again, why does he care? Like that would, you know, it is own the mistake. Own the mistake.
And like,
Greenland, Iceland, they're all lands to me. I don't know.
To anyone who has ever operated at a high level, even for a moment, which I think we all have, where you're balancing so many different things, could you imagine being Trump? Like the amount of important things that you're dealing with. If you mix up Greenland and Iceland in a situation like that, I'll forgive you. That's all right.
Yeah, I'll let it slide. Like I don't care. Yeah, that's definitely not a job I envy. Would not want to have Trump's job right now. I don't know how at 79 years old he sleeps and has the energy that he does. Like it's crazy.
Apparently, he doesn't sleep much. That's his secret. Is he's on like 4 hours of sleep every night.
He might pass away after this presidency is up, like just from sheer exhaustion. Like his body might just quit on him.
Well, after Davos, he put out a statement. And he said, based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. Now, I have heard comments on this, right? This whole situation where Trump has said in the past that he wouldn't mind using military force to occupy and take over Greenland. But then he has also said, well, actually, I'm never going to do that. We don't need to do that. But like he always kind of leaves it on the table. He's like, he'll be like, no, we're never going to do that. We don't need to do that. All right. I don't want to do it. Right. Don't make me do it. And then he kind of leaves it out like that. Now, there's two sides to this. One side says Trump is a Yahtzee and just wants to take over the world and he'll use whatever means necessary. The other side says he's a deal maker. He's a negotiator. And he is simply using the tools that he has. He's flexing his muscles and hoping that they don't call the bluff. And another thing I've heard is that he's aiming really high, saying, actually, I want the whole thing. Give me the whole thing. But in reality, he just wants X, Y, and Z. So who knows? But at the end of the day, he did accomplish something. He went after something that he wanted and he got something. Now, is that everything he wanted? Is this his whole plan the whole time? Or is he conceding so that he can get some sort of W in the situation? What do you think, Jeremiah?
I'm going to go with he wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. Everything he's doing is directly from that book. So it's probably exactly like you said. Like he's call my bluff. I'm laying my cards on the table. Call my bluff. Aim way too high. Yeah, I mean this is Trump making a deal. This shouldn't surprise anybody. When everyone says it's never going to happen, and then it happens, and they're like, I don't know how he did that. It's like it's what he does. That's what he did before he became president. So Greenland is or Iceland or whatever land we want to be in. It's apparently crucial. I'm not a geopolitical expert by any means, but I do remember Trump talking about the Golden Dome prior to election, how he wants to have a missile defense system similar to what Israel has. And in order for that to be effective, we do need to build some things on Greenland. So I do think that this is a good move, smart move. No violence needed, no shenanigans, just Trump doing what Trump does.
Amen. Now let's read this here. This is rumors.
I'm coming with you, Peter. Sorry, I had to read the chat.
This is like rumors of what the deal holds. Nobody has access to it, but this seems to be reported widely. The U.S. will gain control of small pockets of land in Greenland. The U.S. will be involved in Greenland's mineral rights. Greenland is estimated to hold reserves of natural resources worth as much as $5 trillion. That's a lot of money. The U.S. Golden Dome system will be involved in Greenland when it's built. So that seems to be what they're getting, right? The deal is designed to block Russian and Chinese influence in Greenland. It will open the door to U.S. back-end infrastructure investment. Not sure exactly what they're talking about there. And the duration of the deal will have an indefinite time frame. So,
love it.
Yeah, I mean, he got something. Something's on the board, right?
I mean, it's promises made, promises kept. Let's get that Golden Dome built because we could. It's real easy for Americans to not be able to fathom what it's like to have missiles hurled at you, but pretty much every country on planet Earth has suffered some form of warfare on their soil, except after the revolution, besides fighting each other, we haven't really had that. You know what I mean? We had no one's stormed our beaches, no one's launched missiles at us in like leveled cities. You know, we had some terrorist attacks, obviously 9/11, but I don't
Yeah.
count that as military action. So I think the Golden Dome is crucial to our future safety. Crucial to our future safety, and
Yeah, I
a lot
think
of
so.
people. I don't think a lot of people, even many conservatives, I don't think quite understand that.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. This is the last video I have for us tonight. Again, I'm excited for more details to come out about the Greenland deal, but Trump is obviously very excited about it and he's boasting about it. Here's what he's got to say.
Well, I'm not going to have to pay anything. We're going to have total access to Greenland. We're going to have all military access that we want. We're going to be able to put what we need on Greenland because we want it. We're talking about national security and international security. So we're going to not have to pay anything other than the fact that we are building the Golden Dome, and the Golden Dome is going to be something that's going to be very amazing. It'll be Israel times probably 100. And we need it. I think we need it. And it's all going to be made in the United States. We have the best weapons in the world. We have the best companies in the world. We want them to produce faster. And, we've put a mandate out. You're going to have to produce faster, whether it's the Patriots or the Tomahawks or the F-35s or anything else. We make the best equipment, but they have to make it a lot faster.
Honestly, I'd much rather have the military industrial complex focused on building defensive weapons and having funding for defensive weapons than getting antsy and trying to figure out which war to start to make more money.
Right.
So I am glad about that.
The military industrial complex isn't going away anytime soon. I'm not really a fan of empire mentality, but it's unfortunate. It's the world that we live in. It is what it is. If we become isolationists, then Russia, China, other countries will just fill the void that we leave. It's so it's tough, man, because I'm definitely not a fan of the military industrial complex. And that's another part of the why the budget will never be balanced is because of that. But
now you sent me a video.
Yeah. So the people of Greenland, here's what this is what they think of us. This is what they think America is like.
Well, this is Ohio culture coming to Greenland. All right, this is not American.
That's San Francisco, New York, man. That's what the fentanyl homeless fentanyl bums. It's like it's funny, but it's sad because it's like wow, the only impression you have of America is blue city hellholes. You see New York and Chicago and San Francisco and you think that that's America. That's sad.
Yeah. There's a guy on TikTok who he does that and he hangs a cigarette out of his mouth and he just like his whole niche is just taking random videos at like he'll just be in the middle of a grocery store. He's got like a beanie half on, cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he's just completely bent over. It is a fun meme.
Good show, folks. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to both of our channels, and share the show with everybody you know, even people you've only met once.
Check out, I did a debate on the ICE shooting in Minneapolis on Modern Day Debate against First Amender. It went really well. You can see it on my channel, or you can go to Modern Day Debate and find that. Jeremiah, anything else you'd like to plug before we head out of here?
Yeah, man, dude, on my channel, I interviewed Tim Barton. We talked about what the founding fathers said about immigration. What is the original intent of immigration? What did they think about? Did they predict border invasion? Are they for ICE? We go over all that stuff. So check it out. He's Tim Barton's a really smart historian and constitutional expert and Christian brother.
Awesome. Sounds good. Appreciate y'all being here. Like Jeremiah said, hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. God bless you all. We will see you next Thursday.
God bless.
Peace.